Have you ever been accused of something that you know is not true, but everyone believes is, to the point where even when you defend yourself, they still don't believe you? Such is the case of Cavs big man Jarrett Allen, who now is getting the last laugh. I'm Trevor Lane on the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Before the NBA season starts, hit that subscribe button. So Jarrett Allen, Cleveland Cavaliers big man, got a big new contract this past summer, but last year in the playoffs, take a look. Not pretty stuff for the Cavs here. Can you guess where Jarrett Allen went out due to injury? Look at that. High rebounds. Allen, 18 rebounds. Allen, 20 rebounds. Good Lord, against the Orlando Magic. And then, look at that. 8 games remaining in the postseason for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and no more Jarrett Allen. He took continued shots to the ribs, specifically from Franz Wagner on the Orlando Magic, and ultimately forced him out of action. However, the reporting at the time was that Allen had sustained a rib contusion. Now, a contusion, for anybody who doesn't know, is a bruise. Typically, a bruise doesn't keep you out of action. So Jarrett Allen continued to be listed as day-to-day with a rib contusion and yet continued to not play. This created tremendous scrutiny of him. After all, the only reason why you'd miss a game over a bruise is if you're simply soft. And that is exactly what Jarrett Allen was called. In fact, he wasn't even immune to it from his own teammates. Marcus Morris was asked, if you put me in that same position, do I play? Yes. Now, he did soften it a bit by saying, I can't say how his body felt. Orlando was a physical series, so I wasn't surprised he didn't come back in that one. A little surprised about the Boston one. So saying that Orlando was a physical series, a more physical team, so I get why he wouldn't want to play in that one, but Boston wasn't as physical. Why didn't he want to play in that one? And if I was in that situation, I would play. Not ideal. Again, the Cavs wind up falling to the Boston Celtics. You can see it here on in their playoff record. They fell in 5 games to Boston. By the way, anybody who tries to say that the Boston Celtics did not have an easy playoff path, they're absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Look at this. Boston got the Cleveland Cavaliers without Jarrett Allen. Oh, by the way, without Donovan Mitchell for the last couple of games as well, due to a calf strain. Now, the Celtics were the best team last season. You don't take anything away from them, but there's no denying that they had an easy path through the playoffs. Again, they got the Cavs without Jarrett Allen and then without Donovan Mitchell as well. But Allen goes into the summer with all of these question marks about how much can teammates really rely upon him if a bruise, a contusion to his ribs, actually knocks him out of action. And then we found out more to the story. In late May, Cavs president of basketball operations, Kobe Altman, clarified and said it was a broken rib. So the Cavs, over and over and over again, for 8 games, were listing Jarrett Allen as questionable to play with a rib contusion. Then, after the season is over, they call it a broken rib. So after Allen has absorbed all this punishment, all this negativity, all of these people saying all these things about him, including teammates, people constantly asking, because he's a big deal. He's a good player. People asking, where is he? This is the playoffs. Hearing he's sitting out of the playoffs for a rib contusion, and then Kobe Altman calls it a broken rib. Now, Jarrett Allen said it contributed to the skepticism of the injury. But now there's a CT scan out, and you can see the piece of bone that's still floating in my body somewhere. So it was a definitely worse injury than people thought. You don't understand until you go through it. But I feel like I'm sure of myself. I feel like I'm very understanding of if I was able to play, I would play. I played every single game that season that I could, barring the injury. And if I could have, I would have. Now, Allen also mentioned, he said, one funny thing is that I'll always laugh at, you don't understand how bad a rib injury is until it happens to you. I was looking at other people saying, oh, it can't be that bad. It finally happened to me. And I'm like, oh, damn, this sucks. Now, so think about that. Jarrett Allen has a CT scan, apparently, that shows that there's a chunk of his bone that's floating in his body. Like, that's how bad the injury actually was. The problem was that he couldn't raise his arms. This is a guy that is a fantastic rebounder, shot blocker, rim protector. But guess what? You can't do any of that if you can't raise your arms. And that's because it wasn't just a rib contusion. So all of this negativity that got thrown at Jarrett Allen, who is really to blame? My thinking is this was probably a bit of gamesmanship by the Cavs. I think they needed to be a bit more forthcoming with the injury so that he wouldn't take so much heat. But if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers and you're in the playoffs and you have to play the Orlando Magic and you have to play the Boston Celtics, you want those teams thinking every single night, I have to prepare for Jarrett Allen. Even if you know, as the Cavs, that he's probably not going to be out there, you're still not going to designate him as out. And you're just going to list it as a rib contusion rather than a broken rib so that you can't confirm, or they can't confirm, that he's not going to play. This is gamesmanship, but Jarrett Allen winds up coming out the worst for it. And again, he got a lot of criticism from not just fans, but from teammates as well. Now, here he is at Cavs Media Day saying, hey, it takes a lot to get under my skin. Didn't seem to bother him. Of course, it also doesn't hurt that the Cavaliers gave him a 3-year, $91 million extension this past summer as well. Happened in late July. So, those millions probably make the ribs feel a little bit better, as well as any bruises to the ego or any hurt feelings. But Jarrett Allen is a very critical piece to this Cavs team. So now it's about smoothing things over, both with the fans as well as with the rest of his team, who now have to understand that he was not missing games simply because he was checking out on the team, simply because he's weak, because he's soft, or any of the other things that he got accused of being. A quitter, a malcontent, any of that. Not true. He really was that hurt to where he could not compete. And the reason why this is such a big deal, again, it's because Jarrett Allen is a very good basketball player and very important to this Cavs team. Look at this. In terms of points per shot attempt, compared to everyone else at his position, at the big position, he ranks in the 83rd percentile. That's fantastic efficiency for Jarrett Allen. He's a big piece of this Cavs team. And then you look at his defense over here on cleaning the glass, block percentage in the 51st percentile. Okay, that means he's middle of the pack in terms of shots blocked. But look at this, 95th percentile in foul percentage. That's where you can live with the lower block percentage. You know why? Because sometimes guys get a really high block percentage because they're chasing after blocks constantly. But you know what goes down? Their foul percentage ranking, because they start to foul more and more and more because they're chasing blocks. Well, Jarrett Allen doesn't block a ton of shots. He's okay. He's not bad at blocking shots. But what he is elite at is defending without fouling. And that has a lot of value in the NBA as well. In fact, if you're blocking 3 shots a game, but you're fouling out every night, you can actually have a negative impact on your team overall. Jarrett Allen stays out of foul trouble for the most part. Again, that foul percentage ranks him in the 95th percentile. And then you look at the rebounding, 73rd percentile on the offensive glass at his position, 85th percentile on the defensive glass at his position. Jarrett Allen is an incredibly talented player who is now under contract long-term with the Cavs, got the big extension, and despite the fact that he was getting all kinds of criticism over the home stretch of the playoffs, now there's Jarrett Allen under contract, 4 more years in Cleveland. Look at that, 20 million, 28 million, 30 million, 32 million, 32.5 million. So the guy that just months ago was getting criticized for something that was not even true, he gets the last laugh, because not only does he get vindicated, does everybody finally see that, oh yeah, he actually did have a broken rib and not just a rib contusion, but he also got a big fat contract from the Cavs. So I don't blame Jarrett Allen one bit for saying that it takes more than that to get under his skin. Everybody, give me your thoughts on Jarrett Allen and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Can they really make noise in the Eastern Conference? And is this a lesson? Should this be a situation where we look at this and say, you know what, maybe we should wait sometimes before jumping to conclusion especially when it comes to a player's health. Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe right here to the Basketball Bulletin. Until next time, everybody, see ya and stay safe.